Well, welcome to 2019. So happy to actually have 2018 behind us, even though a lot of great things have happened in 2018. Now we move on to bigger and better things. And speaking of bigger and better things, today we have Robyn Cimerol from Keller Williams, and she's going to be talking to us about the difference between a certificate of occupancy, which some people might know as a CO, and a homeowner's inspection.
The certificate of occupancy is done by the seller, and that is done depending, and the buyer doesn't have anything to do with that.
When you're saying it's done by the seller, it's paid for by the seller, but the seller doesn't come in and do the inspection.
No.
Okay.
No, it's paid for by the seller.
Right.
And you have to check with the municipality or the township in which you are, because there's different rules and regulations on each area.
Oh, okay.
Some don't even require it.
Oh.
Allentown, for example, they do require it with rentals units for landlords and also for home purchases.
Oh my goodness, never knew that.
And there's different prices too.
What do you
different
mean?
Fees
For
the seller.
wow.
And they come in and they also check the areas to make sure a home is safe and sound. They'll check the roof, they check your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide. They even make sure that there's handrails and that floors are safe.
But that's more like you said, to protect the seller, not the buyer.
Well,
correct?
they do overlap. So
Okay.
some of the things that are brought up by the certificate of occupancy inspection from the city or town, a lot of things are picked up also by the home inspector.
Is it safe to say that the home inspection is actually a lot more in depth than the certificate of occupancy?
It is, because the home inspection ordered by the buyer is more conclusive. They'll actually do outside, inside. They don't do outside sheds,
Okay.
but they do all living spaces from
Very
top
nice.
to bottom.
So what you want to do is order the certificate of occupancy right when you list the house.
Yes.
In the event that there's repairs that need to be done, because it could take a very long time for those repairs to actually happen. So can you have a settlement prior to those items being corrected, if there's any items that need any corrections on the certificate of occupancy?
You can negotiate it to have the buyers pay for some of those repairs. If you have a home that's bank owned or as is home, then that has to be handled a little differently.
Okay.
And the inspection form has to be notarized by the buyer,
Very
stating
good.
that they will make the repairs. But when you have a certificate of occupancy inspection done,
Okay.
you have to make sure that your checklist is all completed.
Who gives you that
when
checklist?
he comes, the inspector.
Okay.
So that when the inspector comes back, if they are not completed, you could be charged the same fee again to have him come out a second time.
Oh.
And you don't want that to happen, because
Right.
these inspections, the certificate of occupancy inspection, can range anywhere in price from $25, which is really one small area in Tatamy, to $200.
Sorry, everybody, depending on where you're buying, it's a little bit different.
It is.
So,
It is.
Well, there you have it. So you have, to order your homeowner's inspection when you're buying a house. And there is a difference between your homeowner's inspection and the certificate of occupancy, which are all different from the appraisal that is actually ordered, where all three of them do somewhat of an inspection, but each protecting different individuals. For example, the appraisal protects the lending institute. The home inspection protects the buyers, and then the certificate of occupancy is something that the sellers must do.
And it also protects the buyers too. They want a safe home.
Absolutely. Robyn, thank you so much for coming over and taking a little bit of time to go over the differences between a homeowner's inspection, a home inspection, and a certificate of occupancy. It's great to see you.
All
It's
right.
great to have you.
Thank you.
Happy
Always a
New Year.
pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure's
Happy
mine.
New Year.
Happy New Year.